Hi everybody! Welcome back. Welcome back to Godly Play. If you're ready, Miss Marty has a wonderful story about Jesus today. So if you're ready, come on in.
This little light of mine.
Hi everybody! Welcome back! Today we have a great story. We're going to talk about the faces of Easter. We're going to talk about Jesus and all the things that he did. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to light our Christ candle. We have ours lit. I'm going to light my little one just like you have in your boxes at home. That's going to make this a sacred place, okay? All right, and then we're going to have Miss Becky come and change the calendar for us. Hi, Miss Becky.
Hi, Miss Marty. Okay, here we are in the fourth Sunday of Lent. We're going to move it to the fifth Sunday of Lent. And look how close we're getting to Easter. Yippee!
Yay! Okay, if we're all ready, we're going to tell our story. Going to get this out to get ready. Okay, the first thing we're going to look at is this. In the beginning, the baby was born. God chose Mary to be the mother of God. Listen carefully to that. Listen to the words. God chose Mary to be the mother of God, and the Word was born a wordless child. When the baby looked up at Mary's face, he already saw a cross. And when the baby would look up at his father Joseph's face, he saw the cross there too. Mary and Joseph took such good care of the baby. They held him close, they kept him warm, they gave him everything he needed to grow. And he did grow. The baby grew and became a boy. And when he was about 12 years old, they went from their home in the village of Nazareth to the great city of Jerusalem with all the people from their village to celebrate one of the high holy days. And when the celebration was over, all the people from Nazareth went out through the great high gate, and they started on the road to go home. All of a sudden, Mary and Joseph discovered that Jesus wasn't there. They thought he was playing with the other children from their village as they walked together. They hurried back to the great city of Jerusalem to find him. Mary and Joseph looked everywhere. They looked down the dark and narrow streets. They looked in the marketplace where they bought their food. They even looked where they had spent the night. They couldn't find him anywhere. Finally, they looked in the temple, and there he was. He was talking to the rabbis and the priests. When he spoke, they listened because he knew so much. And when they spoke, he listened because he wanted to learn more. Then Mary and Joseph asked Jesus the question that all parents ask their children. The question that you really don't have a good answer for. Why did you do this? And then Jesus said something very strange. He said, "Didn't you know I'd be in my Father's house?" Mary and Joseph were confused. They didn't understand. Their house was back in Nazareth, where Joseph's carpenter shop was. They didn't understand, but they never forgot that. Jesus grew and became a man. When he was about 30 years old, he went to the river Jordan, where his cousin John was baptizing people. Can you see John? We can only see the back of his head. Look at his hair. He was a wild man. Jesus waded into the river until he was face to face with John. And he said, "Baptize me." John looked at Jesus as if it was for the first time. Now he saw who he really was. And he said, "How can I baptize you? You're the Messiah, the one we've all been waiting for. You must baptize me." "No, it is written that you will come before me and prepare the way. So you baptize me." Jesus went down into the darkness and the chaos of the water. And when John pulled him up and lifted him into the light, there were people who actually said that they could see a dove come down from heaven, and it came so close to Jesus. There were other people that said they heard a voice, and the voice said, "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased." After Jesus was baptized, he went back across the river Jordan, and he went to the desert. Jesus went into the desert to discover more about who he was and what work he would be doing. He stayed there for 40 days and for 40 nights. There wasn't much to eat or drink in the desert. And one day he heard a voice, and it said, "Why don't you turn one of those stones over there into bread so you have something to eat?" And Jesus said, "No, to be a real human being, we need more than just bread to eat." Suddenly, as if Jesus were back on the top of the great temple in Jerusalem, the voice came back. "If you were really the Son of God, why don't you jump and see if God sends angels to catch you before you hit the stones below?" And Jesus said, "No, we do not need to test God." Then it was like Jesus could see all the kingdoms of the world. And the voice came back one more time, and it said, "If you follow me, I will make you the king of all these kingdoms." And Jesus said, "No, I am to be a king, but not that kind of king." And then the voice went away. Jesus went back over the Jordan, and he began to do his work. But what was his work? There is so much we have learned about Jesus' life. You know, I bet there are things in this classroom that are just about Jesus' life too. I wonder if Miss Becky will come and help me. Let's look around the room and see what we can see. Miss Becky, what do you think?
So this is when Jesus was born. So this is the Holy Family. Isn't there a Holy Family right behind you?
I think there is. Look, right here we have the baby Jesus. We could even get the mother Mary and the father Joseph.
That is perfect.
What else do we have? I wonder. I bet in our baptism story we have a few things. What do you think?
How about the baby? This is a story about a baby.
I think we have a baby.
Baby needs to be held up. Okay,
The baby's just going to rest.
he's resting.
Okay, let's look at this. Remember, this is when Jesus went into the temple and talked with the rabbis and the priests. What do we have around here?
Well, I think we have a temple.
We sure do. It's a big temple.
I don't think we've told this story yet.
No, we're going to tell that in a couple of weeks, I think.
Okay, so this is the temple. So this is perfect. This is where Jesus came to be with his Father. Okay. What else from this story? Can you think of anything else from this story?
He talked to the priests and the rabbis about the Bible.
Oh, I know.
We have some Bible stuff.
This take a few of these. Put them here, Marty?
I think so.
Okay.
All right. Now let's see. Jesus went to the river Jordan and he was baptized.
Oh,
Can
I
you
got it.
think of something?
Okay, this is from the baptism story. Miss Marty, you did this story, so you're very familiar with this. Is this a dove up here?
This is a dove. Look how
Oh.
close it came to Jesus.
We have a dove.
Where did Jesus go when he got baptized? Did he go way deep in the water?
Mm-hmm. Is this
Mhm.
water?
That's water.
Okay.
That water reminds us of our own baptism, doesn't it?
It sure does. All right.
So much in our room. Let's see. This last plaque shows us that Jesus went into the wilderness, into the desert. We've got something.
Do you all remember the desert stories? I can't get it all the way over there, Miss Marty.
So heavy. Look.
Okay, so this is a little piece of the desert. Remember our desert box stories where we talked about the desert is a huge, huge place and we can't fit it all here in the classroom. So this is just a little piece of the desert where all of those stories were told.
Wow. There's a lot, isn't there?
Exciting.
All right. So now, if you want to get your craft boxes out, think about each one of these parts of Jesus' life. And you might want to do something when Jesus was small or when he grew up. You could draw a picture, you could build something, whatever you want to do. And once you finish that, you can have a feast. And remember to thank God for everything that he's given you. We have a lot to be thankful for. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
I'm thankful for Miss Marty.
Oh, and I'm really thankful for Miss Becky too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little